Howdy, Evil Bart here, and welcome. And what we're looking at here is, as the title suggests, working on the newest version of the CoG Sci-Fi. We'll probably come up with a different name for it. What I'm looking at right here, or what we're looking at, is the demonstration map from the Synty Studios Polygon Sci-Fi. And what I'll probably end up doing for now, I was just going to use this as my test bed, and I'll go ahead and put in some navigation blocking to kind of keep people inside the map. Just because you don't want people coming over here and just kind of hiding out in no man's land, because the fact that also, as you can see in the title, that utilizing not just the Synty Studios asset pack, but another asset pack from Galt, and that is the Jetpack Ultimate version. And I will be changing things like the generator model, the character station, the player spawns, the flag stuff. I'll be changing all those models out as I kind of go. And well, let's just take a look, see what we have so far. I haven't done anything with the UI just yet, but I will be. We'll select the blue team, and let me go ahead and quickly do one thing. I've been messing around with the characters just a little bit, and not sure if I want to have the characters displayed as normal, or if I want them to utilize the color scheme from the original template from Galt. I like the concept, I like the idea, and I probably will retain this. Sorry, I was just reconnecting a few things here. So if you choose the blue team, your character has kind of a blue glow to him, and have kind of a generic model. I'll probably change it to where it actually is just showing the regular model, but you do have a blue glow. I'm not really sure how I'm going to do it just yet. But as we walk around the map, I've set up just a temporary blue base and red base. We've got your character switching right here. And the change, and I'm going to mess around with the keys a little bit, but hit 1 and then E, and you can change out your player class. So you have your light class has an automatic rifle. I haven't finished doing all the other animations and stuff just yet, but you've got a melee attack, and you have a grenade, which you need to set the range on the grenade. It's a sticky grenade. You need to fix the range on it, because otherwise it will travel the entire map. Probably not the best thing overall. So, there's still a few little issues like collisions on the buildings. I can't walk inside this building here, so I'll have to fix that. You've got the hover bikes, and those are active. The ones you see out here on the street are not active. There's actually a player. You can actually set up the vehicle spawner, and I have one set up right here. I'll set it back up here again in just a second to demonstrate what it looks like. But some of the buildings don't have proper collisions, so you can't go inside of them. I'm not sure if that's normal or not, but easy enough to fix. So you can run around the city. Not everything is, nothing really is interactable just yet, but things will be set up to be interacting. And since this is a jetpack thing, you can use your jetpack to fly around the city, and you can use it to get vantage points and so forth. The collision was kind of screwed up on that, and as you see, it caused me to fall off. But good system overall, and I've set up the generator here and the player changer hidden back there in the corner. You can destroy them and disable them, which is pretty cool. Plus you also have the flag, so I can grab the flag here, and this is a capture the flag mode. I may do another mode also later on, just as a team deathmatch. So it is team versus team. So you even have a little particle effect that comes in from the flag when you're carrying it. So you can use your jetpack while you're carrying the flag. And whenever you get back over here and return the flag to your flag podium, then there you go. And you can see there's a change in the score. Hit escape, and normally escape is something that doesn't work in this view, but the escape will let you go back to another menu and change your color if you want to change teams. So look at the red team, so you can see that spawns do work from that, and you do have the red color on that character. So I can come over here to the team changer and change out my class. Right now I've only got a couple weapons set up. I'll get a hell of a lot more weapons done. This is something I've been working on for approximately about an hour, so there will be a lot more that'll be getting done, but I just want to show what was going on with this and do a little bit of work on it during the stream if anybody is interested. Well, you can see now I can come over here and destroy the generator. Now the blue team will not be able to use their character station. See, as I'm standing on it, it says wrong team. I'll change the position of where that spawns from. So let's actually play this in standalone, and we'll go from there, just so we can take a look at it and see what's what. To show the escape function, it was another key, but I have changed it over to the escape key. I'm all about having an escape menu, so I will be doing some extensive work on the UI. I'll probably add in my normal system, and with my normal system that allows you to actually find a game first and then join, and then you'll be able to select your teams and so forth. But for now, this is just going to have to do. But I do need to address the collisions on these buildings, because I can get on this one just fine, but on other buildings I seem to fall off. So we're going to come over here and we're going to destroy the... Alright, so it's pretty much just about destroyed. Go ahead and finish it off here. And reload. Just about there. I'm not a fan of this weapon here because the shots bounce all over the place. Alright, so the red generator is destroyed. You see it's on fire, and its health bar is all the way down. So, if I want to, I can go over here and jetpack over the fence, steal their flag, and run it back. Alright, so just again to show you that there is a scoring mechanism that works. Not sure if I'm going to take the cars out or not. I may leave them in, just like I just used that one for, to jump onto and use as a platform to hide on and shoot from. Alright, so I'll add some sound and some other stuff to that. But let's hit the escape key, and I'm going to change to the red team. Now, since I changed teams, I didn't exit the game and start a new one. See, with the generator being dead or blown up, I can come over here, and if I want to try to use the character changer, red team generators are down, and red team, so I'll have to use my repair tool, which hit Q, and here you see I can repair it back up to normal, and then I'll be able to change my class again. So, come over here, and there, I can change my class. There is a time limit also in effect, so you have to watch out for your time. I may actually put a counter to show the exact time of how much time is left in the match, and you could also win by capping, and there is a 5 cap limit, but I'll probably change that to 3. I don't know. Eventually what I'll do is I'll change it to where the host can actually set the time on the match, and be able to set the actual number of flag captures. Because they are variables, I can go into the variables and change them. And also, since they are variables, I can pull from them to actually make them work. So let me actually do that. That's relatively easy to do. Now, if I were to sit here and keep playing it, then it would actually, see, where you used to be able to use this key, I need to change that text over. So if I look at that, look at the widgets, and I think it was this one, yep. And I can just do that and go to press escape to see this menu when spawned. And compile and save. That part is fixed. And now I can actually look at some other things, like if I want to go ahead and fix a timer, I can look at the timer and make adjustments to it, the flag caps and things of that nature. Just got to remember exactly where everything was. So, blueprints. It's actually in either gameplay or it's actually in, there we go, multiplayer. Now you've got your game instance, game mode. Just have to remember exactly which one it was in. No, I'm trying not to show off any of the code if I possibly can, because John does sell this and it's actually pretty good to work with. It's relatively easy to manipulate the structure of things. So time remaining seconds, that's not it. Player controller is your teams. Just have to remember exactly where it is. The let's see, team captures red and blue. That's actually going to be where the scoring is done. But there's other things you can change, like the teams. If you wanted to try to add different teams in, change the names of the teams, things of that nature, you can edit those in the enums. It comes with an example map, and it's actually pretty good. Good demonstration to showcase what it can do. I have changed a lot of things over so far, so it probably wouldn't work as well for me. And let's see, the game instance. Let's see, host game session. Yeah, just need to find the actual location where the time was. Haven't worked with it in a couple days, so kind of lost a little bit on it. But it doesn't really, if you know what you're looking at, then it doesn't really take much, even without any assistance from anybody else, to actually figure out where things are. So I'll actually come back to the time in just a second, but I wanted to be able to change that out. And I've done it before, I just got to remember where it was. And I thought it was in the game mode. Game mode or game instance. Either one is where I thought it was located. Unless I'm thinking about a different version. But I'll come back to that. And the Polygon Sci-Fi, the idea of changing out these things like the generator, I want to look at some of the different meshes and see if there's anything that I can come up with that would actually be good enough for the generator and the character station. So for the generator, we kind of want something that's relatively big enough to be a good enough target, while not being totally outrageous. Interesting amount of stuff that's in here. Actually, with the vehicle spawner, I'll actually go ahead and put one of them in. If you look in the stations and you're placing things in, when you place a vehicle station in, as an example, a player start or any of them, they're going to automatically default as a spectator class. You just come over to the default team, and I'm going to set this to blue team because I'm on the blue team side. So quickly, I'll run in here and I'll play in selected viewport, go to the view in the blue team, and if you come over and hit E, you get a hover bike, which you can then get onto and ride around town. These are set up to be a two-player or two-person vehicle, so another player can come over and jump and get onto the back of it and be able to shoot while they're on the back of it. So pretty damn cool. But if you don't want to use this particular vehicle team station, okay, I'll actually go ahead and I'll edit this one. So we're going to leave that one here in the map just because we can see it there. We'll open up the vehicle station master, and we're not going to look at the code for it because I don't want to give away his stuff. So we can see that we have the vehicle pad, we have the floor that you would stand on, and you would have a wall panel. So what I want to change this off to for the vehicle pad, and I'm going to look back through, and I saw one that I think would be pretty good. These are pretty cool for pickups. You got wrenches, so if you wanted to do repairs, or a lightning, it could be for an energy recharge, weapons, health, and ammo pickup. So those are pretty cool. You already got those. The planet up, I didn't even look at the sky. You got a kind of a pink hazy sky with a sun and a planet really, really close. Pretty cool. So let's look at the props again, because I saw something that looked interesting enough to use for what we're doing here. So we want to use this guy. That should be good enough for our pad. So let's actually take a look at it, and we have the static mesh for it, and this right here is utilizing a static mesh. So let's do that, and well, since it's using the color change, it's going to become that color. We're going to lose the overall colors of what it looks like. And since the disc here, the floor is actually bound as the root, which is not something that I do. I don't like doing that because now I can't physically move it around and make it exactly what I need. So we need to find something that'll take the place of the wall panel and for the floor. So you can see we've made changes, and those are the changes we've made so far. So we need something to act as the floor section to stand on to actually change it. Well, we don't want to use a pallet or a wooden path section. Hopefully we'll find something that will... It's a little too small. A little too small. Shield bubble. That looks interesting, but not for what we need here. Sure, there's got to be something in here that would be of a good enough size. Got some drones we can play with later on. I've already had a wandering drone that I put into a map before. That actually is not bad there. That's not bad either. We're actually going to use the this one right here, and we will change the panel there. And let's go ahead and move. Well, let's look at something to use for the wall panel, because I don't want to use the wall panel itself, and I want something a little bit different, like a console or something of that nature. And there's a lot of things in here that we can use. Alright, so there's that shield bubble. Actually, the texture rendered now. Kind of cool. Alright, so there's a booth. I saw a console in here. Just gotta find it again. The chair and tables and market stalls and jars and jar lids. There we go. Control panel, and let's go ahead and change that. Let's go ahead and change the scale back. I'm going to unlock that and change the scale. Now I want to go ahead and just move this into position. We'll kind of center it up a little bit better there. Let's actually leave it on the ground floor, and we'll just bring it in like that. And we just need to move the trigger box so that it's more appropriately scaled to this, and I will go ahead and make it a little bit bigger. That's good. Now that should be pretty good now. So if I hit compile and save, and we'll take a look at it there on the ground, and let's take a look at it in game. Go to blue team, and there we go. That's our new pad. Come over here, hit E, and there we go. I'll play around with the controls for the bike. This version was a little bit more sensitive than the original version, so I'll tweak it around just a little bit. Alright, so that works, and if we want to, we can leave that in. I'm going to leave it in for right now, just for the heck of it. And let's go ahead and look at the collision issues we're having with some of the buildings. And first and most notably, let's go back in game, and I'll change the hand positions a little bit on the weapons too. We know that the fire station looking thing here we can't get into, and the strip club I know we couldn't get into. Walk around here, pleasure time robot. Well, we can't get in, so that's kind of a letdown. So let's go ahead and take a look at this building, which I know is the strip club. So if I scroll through the buildings here, I can actually look around until I find it, and I've already passed it. Once we do find it, the strip club, we need to go into it, and unfortunately, since the collisions are off a little bit, I'm going to do this the wrong way. It works, but I'm sure there's got to be a better way. I want to use complex collisions as simple. Hit save, and then I can close it. And now let's go back in there and see if we can walk into that building. Another thing I want to do is add a sprint. And if you're not sure how to set up sprint, I think that'll be a good thing to showcase here. So, reason why I'm not able to just walk into it now is something else is giving me a collision issue. So I'm going to look at the different pieces parts of the strip club, and I'm going to change them on the collision as well. And I'm going to have to keep playing with it until I figure out which one is which. But to add a sprint, essentially all you have to do is say, hey, whenever I hold down the shift key, I want it to run faster. So now I can walk in a little bit farther, but there's still something else that's being a pain in the butt on collisions. So we'll just have to keep going down the list and changing that same thing. Like I said, it's not the optimal way of doing it, but it will get the job done for now. So I'm just going to go ahead and get all of them for that building. That should take care of it. So for sprint, for this particular setup, we're going to need to find our character blueprints, our master character, and we need to find a spot into our event graph where we can have an empty space. And I'm just going to come over here and we're going to right click, keyboard, and we want the left shift. Okay, so when we press the left shift, we want to look at our character movement, and our current character movement is walking speed. Max walk speed is 600. Max walk crouched is 300. So even though it's at 600, we can actually come in here and make some changes to this. Grab that, and what we want to do is set it up for press and release. So we're going to have twofold here. So the first thing we want to do is drag out from that, set max walk speed, and I'm going to go ahead and put this up here, Control C, Control V, and connect that to here, and this to here, and this to here. And now what we want to do here is we want to set our max walk speed of when we hit shift to 600, and let's actually take it down to 400 just for right now. And then let's actually go back to our character movement and set our max walk speed. We can leave it alone here, but I'm going to go ahead and change it to 400. And I'm going to compile and save. There we go. Now, if I go in here to play, pick a team. See, we're walking a little bit slower, but I hit the shift key and I can speed up just a little bit. You can set it as drastic as you want. You can have them zipping along at 1,000 if you want to. But there we go. Now we can walk here, and we can't crouch, so we can't crouch to get underneath there. But at least now we can walk into the strip club. So I'm actually going to change my max walk speed to, we'll leave it at 400, but we're going to actually change our sprint to 800. And just see how much of a difference it is. It's doubling our speed. So now let's go in here and let's take a peek and see what we've got. So it's a lot faster there. So you can see we're doubling our speed by hitting the sprint key or left shift key. Pretty cool. It's nice to get some neon signs that blink and work. But let's go ahead and finish fixing some of our collisions. We can see that this is kind of like a fire station looking thing. This is actually, I think, one of the warehouses. But we can click on it and see that it's warehouse number 2. So now we can go back into our buildings and look for warehouse number 2. Well, it's probably just going to be this one, which is warehouse 1. Yep, there was just 2 of them side by side, so I'm going to change that one as well on the collision, and there you go. That should let us get in here. I can sprint to get over here. And, no, that didn't do it. Something else is causing us to not be able to get in there. So it's the door bottom is right there. Yeah, there's just some minor little buggy things with this, but you know, it's still an awesome asset pack. I'm just going to screw it on all of them. I wanted to make sure that I can get in and out of these buildings, so if you're trying to engage in combat and you are the player, pretty sure that would make you a little bit annoyed. If you're running around the map and I want to come over here and I want to hide in this building and I can't get in. Why can't I get in? Pretty damn annoying. So, not sure what the actual problem is that's preventing us from getting in. I've changed 4 or 5 different pieces so far, and that's what it was. It was actually the windows. The windows had a shit collision to them that was preventing you from being able to get in. So we could actually go back and undo some of the other ones that we did to allow us to be able to get into it. Let's see, let's go ahead and check up here. Let's go up there. There's no stairs, but who needs stairs when you got a damn jetpack, right? That one of the doors in the way so you can't get in, that's fine. Little things like this. You can on some things. Some things you may find the collisions are a little bit off, and you just tweak them to do whatever you want. So can we come in over here? Yes, we can. So you want to find different areas like this where the player might want to jump in here and take cover and that kind of stuff. And you want to be able to move around. You don't want anything to really just hold your player and keep them from getting somewhere. So a collision on a lot of these things, like this truck right here. Of course, it is a flying truck, but still, you know, you'd want to be able to get in there. Alright, so as we're walking around, instead of the shifts, just did the shift key and made a sprint. So now that works. And you still got the capture the flag stuff, but I want to look for any other buildings right now that I should be able to get into, but I can't. Anything with the doors open. I see another one over here. And no problem, I can come in here. So far as the windows, that seem to be a problem. Get in this garage, no problem there. Can I get underneath here? Yes. There was one more building that I did notice. Now this right here, the VR booth, I think that would actually be a pretty cool thing to set up for the character changer. And it was this one right here that we couldn't get into. So, we could actually take a look, see which one's which. I think that one's called a chop shop. So you look at it, yep, chop shop. And we need to figure out which one doesn't have the correct collision on it and fix that. Again, quick and easy. Should be down here on the bottom. And let's see, section door, section, there we go, chop shop. And I'm just going to do the cheat method for now because, like I said, more interested right now in actually setting up things to be functional so I can show off some of the cool things that are in here. Do recommend, if you want to do something of this nature, then getting the Synty Studios asset pack from the marketplace, or you can get in touch with John Galt for the asset pack that I'm using for the Jetpack. So let's test that one. This one works. And chop shop. Now I can walk inside the chop shop. Cool. Alright, so this should be all the buildings fixed now that I can walk into. All the neon seems to be working pretty well. interesting outline on the cup of noodles up there. Probably start clearing out some of the vehicles also and some of the barricades, just simply because we've got the hover bike. So let's go over here and take a look at that again, and we need to find something to replace the character station with and the generator with. So again, we looked at that one booth, and I'm not sure exactly what it was called. I think it was just called booth. It's a bank door. If all else fails and you see something that's on the map and you don't know what it is, then just fly to it and then go ahead and select it, and it'll tell you pretty much what the name is there or here. So it's a prop VR booth, and you could always type it in right here. I like to scroll through because sometimes I find something that I like for something else too. So I actually have used the scanner once before to set up on this, but I kind of like that VR booth. So let's go ahead and take a look at the character station. Now there's two pieces to it. You've got the bottom piece. Well, you got more than two pieces, but we want to go ahead and try to make do with what we got here. Now the way these actually work on the character station is, and I'm going to go to the viewport here so we can see, we've got the floor, got the wall panel, the box collision, and then the widget here. So I need to take a look to see which one it's actually utilizing here, and I'm going to try to scroll around a little bit without showing off anything. I can just barely read it. One of the pieces, I can't remember if it was actually the floor or if it was actually the wall panel. One of them was actually necessary and utilized here, so I'm not going to get rid of either one of them. I'm just going to go ahead and change these out. And let's go back over to our Synty Studios stuff and our props, and we need our VR booth. I'm going to select it there, and then I'm going to select the wall panel, and I'm going to change that. And I want to make sure that it's unlocked here so I can undo changing the scale of it. So we want to zero it out there. So there we have the VR booth, and I don't want to get rid of this floor piece because I don't remember if it's actually the one that you're gonna have to keep. So for now, let's go ahead and keep that one, and let's take a look. We have it in here now, so we need to move it a little bit away from the wall, and let's go ahead and take a look at it and see what it looked like. So now we'll come over here, walk into this. Kind of sucks that it got the VR headset hanging down, but oh well. We'll hit 1E, and there, we just changed. So that's cool. And I'll probably get rid of or just turn off the visibility for the spawns, for the player spawns. And you can't really get rid of the base, but what you can do is come into it and look at your piece here, your cube, which is your actual base plate, and you can just scroll down, and I probably already passed it here. No. Hidden in game, check that, compile, and come on, save. And now whenever we go in game, we will no longer see those player spawn points. They're there. We can see them when we're editing the map, and that's good because we want to be able to move them around and get them in position the way we want to, but when you're actually playing the game, they're going to be invisible, and I think that's pretty cool. So the next thing we need to replace is the generator. So let's see what we can come up with for a generator. I was trying to look as I was scrolling through for the other parts here, and nothing really jumped out. cages, maybe. I did use something else once before, and it looked okay, but the more I messed with it, I just didn't like it. So I want to come up with something different. Something that looks more like a generator. Something like you recognize it and know exactly what it is. Vending machines, which is pretty cool because I have pre-made vending machine set up already. Wall electronics, I think that's probably going to be a little bit too small. Yeah. If you want a quick preview on the map to see what the scale of something looks like, then all you got to do is just drag it in. Gee, that's cool. I don't like it. Hit delete. Or you can just drag it in and drag it back and then click off of it. Let's look at miscellaneous again, environments, and we'll just have to kind of look around, see what we can come up with to simulate being the actual generator. If you're familiar with the normal Synty Studios, like the Polygon City, these street sections are the same ones from that. And they actually had collision right off the get-go. Which is a plus, and I say that is because for the longest time, there was nothing. There was no collision on them. And you try to walk on it, and you just freaking fall right through the damn world. Took them a while to finally actually get around to changing it. So I think for now what I'm going to do is, that's a little too small. I'm going to go ahead and just put something that I'm going to use for it. I could always change it later. But I think we can use, I like that shield bubble. I'm going to have to come up with a use for that somewhere. It looks pretty cool. We can actually use this. And what we can do is just put that onto a wall somewhere. So I'm going to go ahead and use the wall attachment electronics. And we just need to go back over here to our generator, open up that. I'm going to close these other two guys up. I don't need them anymore. So the generator, we want to look at it, and we just have this nice pretty block. Gets the job done for now, but we are going to use this guy down here. So all you have to do is find the static mesh, change it out, and I'm going to go ahead and rotate it. Oh, hell. Well, because it's it is the way that it is. It's the root. I can't change the orientation of it. I can change the scale, but I really can't do much else with it. So now, whenever I put it into the map, I'm going to have to rotate it around, and hopefully it'll work as normal. We will have to test that out, and I will do that relatively quickly. So I'm just going to go ahead and attach it to the wall. And let's go back over here to our red team, because I have one set up for the red team as well. And I'm actually going to move it. For now, this will have to do. And let's go ahead and hit play. Let's see what happens. Like that sprint key functionality. And let's go ahead and use our jetpack. Let's move a little bit faster. Well, I can't see the name tag anymore. So the name, I can't see it hovering. So we're going to have to do something different. That's just not going to work. I thought it would, but it's just not going to make it. Because whenever I place it against a wall like that, it just kind of hides the name. Well, what can you do? Just gotta find something else we can use for the generator. Honestly, I don't care if I use a frickin' dumpster for right now, but I wanted to use something a little bit different, something that looked like it was going to be a generator. But, I mean, that was way too big. And just because it's too big doesn't mean I can't, scale it down to make it work. So, and that's, yeah, let's go ahead and just use this guy, and I'll scale it up. And let's go ahead and scale it to and we need to get this to make sure it's above the head of it. And compile, save. And that's going to be good enough. Now, the name of it is actually going to write itself as we look at it. So let's go back over here to the blue side and move that over and get it back onto the ground. Now let's play it and see what it looks like inside the game. Alright, we can see the name just fine. Let's utilize that jetpack. Yeah, that sprint comes in handy. Alright, so generator works and is destructible. And we just need to move this guy a little bit. So alright, that works for me. It all works. It is good enough. It actually works in multiplayer. So if anybody's on the same Steam region, and unfortunately, until I come up with a better way, the multiplayer system that I created plus this one right here, they both utilize the Steam architecture, and you're going to have Steam running in the background, and you're going to have everybody that joins the game is going to have to be in the same Steam region. So East Coast North America is the region that I'm in, so if you want to test with me, then you're going to have to be in that region. Just notice that sign is doubled up there. So yeah, that's weird, but things like that happen. I will crawl around the map and actually see if there's any other duplicates around, just for the sake of it. And if you don't know, you can always hit something on here, hit F, zoom to it. That way you can kind of pan around the map a little bit faster. So you can actually, like, okay, I want to go to this one. Yep, that's good. This one, okay. No problem. This one, no problem. So yeah, that's just how you do that. F key centers you on the, or sets your focus to that item. Alright, so, I don't know why somebody is sending me private Discord messages whenever they know I'm live streaming. They know I'm not going to answer them. And I'm not even going to read them probably. So, alright, so that's that. This works. The next few things that I'm going to be doing is setting up the weapons. I've got a lot more weapons to work with, and I have a lot of different attachments and everything to work with as well. I can set up different scopes, silencers, edged weapons. Now currently I have it set up to where everybody's melee is set to a fist attack. It's kind of like a bitch slap. But I could also do a sword and claw with this template. And what I'll probably end up doing is adding in the sword, which is this guy. It's pretty big, and it'll reside on the player's back. So if I wanted to, I could set up that. I've also got it set up for the claw. Can actually change the claw over to be a knife. So you can have a knife, a sword, and a fist melee attack. I will set up different classes, get the classes set up correctly, where everything has different weapons. Pretty much easy now to tell who's on whose team because of the way that the other characters glow. So whenever you're actually in the game, you'll walk over, and the starting class, I'm going to change the weapons on the starting class again to be absolutely crap. The launcher is fine. You can actually do some pretty good damage with it, but I'm going to make it to where the starting weapons absolutely suck donkey nuts. The repair tool works pretty good, but the main reason for that, and I still haven't fixed the range on the grenade yet. It can actually disable it to where it's not a sticky grenade, but you got light, medium, and heavy. I'll get the weapon positions just right. As you can see, the rotation of the weapons a little bit off. I'll fix that. I'll fix more of the animation stuff. But 3 is actually a heavy class. We've got a chain gun, and you also get the launcher, but your default is actually the chain gun, and you don't have a repair tool. So here's the sucky thing is what if somebody comes over here and destroys your generator, and you want to be able to change over to repair it? If you're not already one of the classes that has a repair gun, which is light, and there is a bug that this happens every so often. I don't know why, and I'm gonna have to look at that. It doesn't always happen, and it's not always the same class. So there's something screwy with and that's when you're trying to convert multiple asset packs over together, you're always gonna have some little bugs like that. You're gonna have to chase things down. But not every class actually comes with a repair tool. The starting class does. So if you just do the normal one, and I see another little small bug right there, which we need to fix that quickly. The character station, go back to the damn thing. The actor info, we need to raise that up just a wee bit so we can actually see that above there and see what damage is on it. There we go. That is that. Now let's take a look at it one more time. That's better. See, I go to heavy class, no problem. Light class, no problem. And this class, no problem. Just every so often, whenever I go to that that player station, it actually bugs out. And even though it's a good system, I like the way it works. So if you're out here fighting and you don't already have... See, the problem that I'm running into is always with this gun. It absolutely just fucks over the animation state. And I have changed the frickin' skeleton to change the sockets multiple times. There's 900 sockets in here, and I've repositioned everything else to where everything should be working correctly, but still, it keeps screwing up. So I don't know what the actual issue is with it. I fixed that and that. So I'll just have to sort through and keep trying to find why it does that, and it's only random and it's only on medium. No, it's not even always on medium. It's always just random. And it's always with the tool, though, that repair tool. So I'll figure it out. Not a big deal. So I want to thank everybody for checking this out. And at some point, this particular game is going to be refined even more once I get the UI finished the way I want, and preferably get some fucking help with this game, so I'm not doing everything by myself all the damn time. Then I will go ahead and start setting it up to get ready to put online and sell the hell out of it. Alright guys, well thanks for watching, and I'm going to get back to work and probably start working on the UI for the rest of the evening, because I'm in a foul mood, and, you know, hey, what the hell. Alright guys, we'll see you later.